And we're back on the record in cause number 326923, case of style of state of Texas versus Robert Jerome White Jr. We have Mr. White present with his attorney, Mr. Tom Burbank. The state is represented by Mr. Daniel Boyd, Assistant District Attorney. Now, Mr. Boyd, you have announced to the court that you have a motion in this case.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would move to dismiss the case in consideration for the forfeiture of the Taurus revolver model 605 357, a handgun.
Okay. And Mr. Burbank?
Your Honor, we've executed an affidavit relinquishing our ownership in that firearm. But in this cause, at the time of the arrest, there was another firearm, which was a .40 caliber Springfield pistol, and that will be returned to Mr. White upon your signing of the dismissal and him traveling over to the Beaumont Police Department to retrieve it.
Now, Mr. Boyd, do you have a copy of the inventory? Do you have his file?
Yes, Your Honor. For both firearms, Your Honor?
He probably just had one inventory. Did he have two?
It had two separate sheets for.
I just need the one on the one that's being, well, give him both of them because the cases are being dismissed and pursuant to 17.19 Code of Criminal Procedure. Yeah. 18.19C. Okay. Mr. White, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon, well, one of the weapons in cause number 326923. And the weapon that's being forfeited to the state is a Taurus revolver model 605 caliber 357 serial number KM68423. Now, Mr. White, you recognize this document? You have to speak up.
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line as titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. White, prior to signing and initialing this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. White, I will grant the state's motion to dismiss, and I will grant the state's motion to forfeit this weapon as part of the plea bargain agreement in this case. She just that she's gonna e-file that. Mr. White, your dismissal is being printed off. Once you get a copy of your dismissal,
If I may, you also would agree for the record that part of this agreement was that, just so that's clear that we don't have a problem with the police department, that the 40 caliber Springfield is to be returned to Mr. White per agreement between. the defense and
what's
the
on,
state.
what's on the dismissal? Give him a copy of the dismissal,
Okay, let me finish another information.
because they'll see the weapon that, well, you need to get a copy to the police department showing that what was forfeited, because you don't want to give him the gun that was forfeited,
Yes, Your Honor.
because you didn't forfeit the other weapon. Yeah, and so he, well, put it like this, well, let me do this here. Yeah, pursuant to this Article 18.19, he's entitled to the weapon that was not forfeited. Okay. Okay, so, Mr. White, this will conclude your case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. And okay, thank you. And Mr. Burbank, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
I'll see you.
Good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. First of all, I'd like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to be here, particularly since we have the coronavirus or COVID-19. I'm not going to try to keep you any longer. And the reason why is because the reason why I brought you in is because I didn't want you to think that you wasted your time. What you just witnessed was the last case that we had on our trial docket. We have a trial docket here. We started this morning. Actually, we had two dockets. We had an announcement docket and we had our trial docket. And all those cases that we had on the trial docket have been either reset or disposed of. And I tell people this all the time. A lot of times when you come down here to court, you come down here and you say, oh, the case didn't go to trial, I wasted my time. You did not waste your time. And the reason why I say you didn't waste your time is because a lot of times when individuals come to court, I'm talking about defendants, they have a right to have a trial by jury. And if they just say they want to have a trial by jury, we set a date for them to have a trial by jury. Sometimes people set their cases for trial because they believe one of a couple of things is going to happen. Sometimes they believe that, well, the witness is not going to show up. Or sometimes they believe the jury is not going to show up. But on today's like today, when witnesses show up and then when juries show up, sometimes they have what is called a change of heart. And what that means is once they see the jury, they say, you know what, that offer that the state made to me, a plea bargain offer, it looks pretty good right now. And sometimes they have a change of heart and decide to dispose of their case. We cannot move any cases without people like you. And a good example of that is the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, we were unable to have trials. And because we were unable to have trials, we have a backlog. I don't know if we ever had a backlog this big. And it's because we couldn't have jury trials. And so people will park, well, we say they'll park their case on the jury trial docket, knowing that the case is not going to go. And so it goes on and on. So that because they have a right to have a trial by jury, we can't tell them that, no, you're going to move this case. You don't have a right to have, no, they have a right to have a trial by jury. But it's because of people like you who take time out from your busy schedules. And not only that, but risk coming out under conditions like this, we are able to move cases. And so on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County, behalf of the staff here in County Court at Law Number 1, I'd like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to come out here to help us to move cases. These cases that we moved today would not have been moved without people like you. Now, when you look around the courtroom, you don't just see me. Yes, I'm the judge here, but I can't do this job by myself. To my left, we have Ms. Kim Broussard. She is a court reporter. She takes down everything that is being said in court. To my right, we have Ms. Joy Parker. She works for the county clerk's office. She's a deputy county clerk. And basically, she does most of the paperwork for when cases are disposed of. And now when we, to her right, we have Ms. Trina Redmond. Ms. Redmond is the person that make all the scheduling, all of the resets, and get us organized here in court. The gentleman over there in the uniform that you met is Mr. Charlie Parker. He is our bailiff here in this court. He's the person that keeps law and order. Now, the gentleman that just walked in is Mr. Ray Shear. He is the misdemeanor chief. He's over both courts. He works with the Honorable Bob Worthen. And to his right, we have Mr. Daniel Boyd. He is one of our assistant prosecutors here in court. All of these individuals, they're working this court. Now, the gentleman that left with his client was Mr. Tom Burbank. He was one of our well-known attorneys in this area. And everybody basically, even though we have different jobs, we all are here to make sure that justice is done. Now, the photo on the back wall is the late great Lupe Flores. Judge Flores was in this court for a number of years. Judge Flores unfortunately died in 2015, but Judge Flores' philosophy was that county court at law would be a people's court. I have that same philosophy. I'm a judge who's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, anytime that you are in this area, when, of course, when COVID is over, you can come and have a seat in this courtroom because it's your courtroom. I know when you were outside, you saw my name at the top, County Court at Law Number 2, Judge Terrence L. Holmes. You probably said, this is Judge Holmes' court. No, this is not my court, this is your court. Anytime you're in the area, please feel free to come have a seat in that area in the back there. We call that the peanut gallery. Now, that does not mean you can bring peanuts up here and eat. This is not the Texas Roadhouse, but you can come in here, have a seat, and see what goes on in your county courthouse. County Court at Law Number 2 handle Class A and B misdemeanors. And misdemeanor cases are different from the felony cases, the more serious cases. Misdemeanor cases are normally referred to as your petty offense. Does not mean that they're not serious. Now, we also, in this court, I have a program that I started within the first 100 days of taking office, and that program is called the CSI program. It stands for Community Safety Initiative. It's a program that's designed to make Jefferson County a safer place for all of us to live, work, go to school, raise our children. It addresses the issue of what we call recidivism. recidivism where people commit crimes and over. And so within the first 3 months of me being on the job, I realized that it looked like it was a revolving door because I was seeing people coming back over and over, kind of like Otis on the Andy Griffiths. Now, I didn't mean to age myself, but that's what it looked like. People was just coming in over and over, the same people over and over. I said, something need to be done. And so what we did, we realized that some of them had mental issues. And so started a partnership with Spindletop. And Spindletop on Tuesdays, they come into the courtroom and they do private interviews, they do assessments, and they develop treatment plans, either for outpatient or inpatient. And individuals who have problems with drugs or alcohol, we have a partnership with Spindletop, who has a program that's called ATAR. ATAR stands for Addiction Treatment and Recovery. They will come in, do screenings, interviews, develop treatment plans for outpatient or inpatient treatment. For individuals who are not working, we have a partnership with the Golden Triangle Empowerment Center, who has a partnership with Lamar University. Lamar University has a program that is called CICE, stands for Center for Innovation, Commercialization, and Entrepreneurship. It is a job training and a job placement program in the hotel industry, the shipping industry, and the chemical industry. Individuals are trained in one of those areas, and once they're trained, they will assist them at getting a job in the area that they're trained in. And if individuals do not have a high school diploma, CICE has a GED program so they can get their high school diploma. I tell people this all the time: when you come to county court at law number 2, we don't have court as usual. We have unusual court. And it's not because we are different, but it's because we're trying to make a difference of the lives of the individuals that comes before this court and the lives of the individuals that we release out into Jefferson County. And when you come to county court at law number 2, we do not just arrest the problem, we address the problem. And we address the problem by producing productive people, because we believe that if we produce productive people will not commit crimes. But again, I do not want to hold you any longer. I'd like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to be here this afternoon. And again, my name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes, and I look forward to, under better conditions, seeing you again. And I tell people this all the time. I usually give you a handshake, but because under these conditions, I'm gonna give everyone an air handshake, okay? An air handshake to everyone, okay? And at this time, I see my frat brother over there. How you doing? And so at this time, you're excused. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to answer any questions. If you need any excuses, the bailiff will show you where you can get your excuse. Again, thank you for coming out here, and everyone, please have a blessed day. All right.